been a while, guys. I thought I would update after that the whole Bruce Lee video rebuttal business. I thought I'd let you guys know I'm back. I was helping out a buddy of mine for a while, and now I'm home. I'm trying to get my life back on track. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. Got to apply for jobs. I got to try to get into welding school. It's just a whole lot of stuff. So I thought I would come on and at least let you guys know I'm back home. There's going to be more videos soon. And I also did go and rewatch Spider-Man 3 because my roommate said, hey, you want to go watch the movie? Because he didn't want to go alone. And it was his treat, so I was like, okay. So I went back and I thought, well, I can actually watch the movie a second time and kind of, get a better... I tend to watch a movie critically the first time, and then the second time I can actually sit down and try to watch it and enjoy it. Because, when the first time you watch a movie, I'm trying to see every little thing that's going on instead of actually focusing on how, certain parts of the movie. But anyway, there's a lot of things that bothered me the first time around watching, like the big, when Sandman turns into the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Things like that actually didn't bother me that much. But then other things that I didn't really care about, like didn't bother me at all, really bothered me. So it's funny that, for me personally, watching it the first time, maybe I was just a little excited when I came out of the theater. It seemed like an okay movie. It's more of an action movie, so of course there's less plots and stuff like that, but they do put in a lot of shit in this movie. But now I don't find it holds up under plural viewings. It's just a lot of things I noticed after the second time watching that. I'm just, why did they put that scene there? Why did Sandman fly around like a fucking gust of wind? Sand cannot fly without wind. So if he's gonna move around and turn his hands into things and squash things, I don't really care about that. But how does he turn into a gust of sand, like a sandstorm or whatever? Yeah, and I feel that the Venom part of it was totally mishandled. It's he got very shortchanged, very short part with him, and it's just basically he's a little, as part of him having a problem with the black suit and having to deal with that, it becomes Eddie Brock and then he wins. Like, it becomes Venom and then he wins. I don't know, there's a lot of things that need to be changed in this movie. It needs to be streamlined. It needs to have a lot of crap taken out of it. Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of things in it I would have changed. Like, Gwen Stacy's character is just a little background character. You know nothing about her, and she's a very important character in the actual comic book. So yeah, it's just... She falls off because the crane smashes up the building she's doing a modeling shoot in. And Spider-Man swoops in and saves her, and then just flies away. Goes to fight the Sandman because the crane's actually still swinging around, but he doesn't care. And the thing that everyone was bitching about, which was, the emo Spider-Man, didn't bother me at all, actually. Upon rewatching it, I thought him flying through the club and jumping all over the place was a little weird. Don't you think people would find it a little suspicious that he's all over the place? But generally, it didn't bother me that he got a little makeup on to make him look a little darker. But they could have done it differently. They could have given him big bags under his eyes, or maybe just use a little bit of dark all up here, you know what I mean, instead of giving him eyeliner. Because if you look closely, he's got, like, mascara on, like it's... or whatever that shit they put on your eyelashes is, I don't know. And he's got a little sideways haircut, and they dyed his hair black, of course, when he turns rotten. But, I mean, you take on physical characteristics, right? Like, if after Eddie Brock became Venom, he's got the big old teeth. I mean, I don't know, that's probably not part of the Spider-Man thing, but I just, whatever. So anyway, yeah, it really didn't... I had it as, it's not the best... I don't know which one. Personally, I think I like the first Spider-Man movie the best, just because it was so new and original, and the second one was, of course, was very cool too. But I don't know. I think I like the first one the best, even though I know the villain looked like a Power Ranger. But to me, I don't really care like what his costume looks like. Would you rather he's flying around in the typical superhero costume, which is leotards, and you put a pair of underwear over top it? The Green Goblin flies around with a little orange or a little purple hood on, and that's it. That's his gear. Like that's his get-up. I thought the Goblin costume actually was just a mechanical version of Willem Dafoe's face. I mean, he looks enough like the Goblin without the mask on, actually. But I don't know. I didn't really bother me. I liked how it was kind of insect-like. It had layers, plates, and okay, maybe the mask was a little goofy, but I don't really care. I thought he made an excellent villain. I mean, the movie's only as good as your villain, right? And on that note, Alfred Molina did an excellent job as Doc Ock. I thought he was fantastic because he just gave just enough. If you do a villain and you do him too over the top or too, it just falls apart. So he was very minimal, and that's what makes a good villain. Like if you look at Brian, what's his name, the guy in, he was in the second X-Men movie, he played Stryker, Brian Cox, one of my favorite actors, he's amazing. They asked him, well, what's your take on playing a villain? And he's like, you don't want to be tenting your fingers and acting like a Bond villain. You want to be straight to the point, shoot the guy in the face and get it over with. You know what I mean? You want to be extremely minimal. The less you give your audience, the tougher they're going to think he is, right? So, yeah. The movie, I had it about, I don't know, the first one I thought was probably like, I'm kind of tough on these movies because I realize they're popcorn fun action movies. They have a set number of action pieces per movie, kind of formulaic, but, funny and a lot of good parts in them. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. They're better than your average blockbuster like The Mummy or some baloney like that. Even though I like the first Mummy, but anything after that is complete garbage. But yeah, it didn't really make the cut after that. I found that it dropped a lot on a second viewing. I really saw a lot of the flaws shown right through, like things I didn't really care about before all of a sudden became these great irritations, and things that irritated me a lot kind of were a little more subdued because I knew it was coming, so it didn't, like I said, the Sandman turning into Stay Puffy was okay. I mean, they could have come up with a better way to do it. I really would have thought it would have been better if instead of him becoming this giant mountain, he could have just been a one really big hand or something. You know what I mean? Like that would have been kind of creepy because it's like disembodied, and But anyway, and Venom didn't get any kind of treatment. Didn't say we, didn't do any of the real Venom stuff. So he's really just, I don't know, just a mirror image of Spider-Man and evil, but not really Venom because he didn't really, like I said, didn't really get to see him and do anything. But I liked 70s Show guy. I thought he was cool. He's played the part really well. So yeah, I'm just bored. I thought I'd come on, do a little update, tell you guys what's up, and get back into the regular continuity.